Hi, this is Ushio, and welcome back to the KFC visual novel. We have just slept over at Colonel Sanders' house, and we are going to find out what happens from this point. You awaken to a beautiful morning in Colonel Sanders' hideaway. Did you make the right decision on how to respond to Colonel Sanders? Only time will truly tell. Today is a day that could change the rest of your life. You think about the new secret ingredient that you just learned about, which is whatever that is. In some jurisdictions, this isn't even legal, but if the recipe is a secret, how are they going to know? Your thoughts are interrupted when Colonel Sanders emerges into the room. He's holding a gorgeously plated breakfast, and your mouth waters at the sight of it. Here's a simple breakfast that I just whipped up. It's meticulous. You taste Colonel Sanders' food, and it takes you on a journey, and when you return, he's waiting to ask you an important question. So, would you say that we're the perfect match? How presumptuous. My cuisine, and your taste buds, that is. Such confidence, such grace. Could he be the world's greatest gift to cookery? Flatter him? Take him down a peg. I mean, KFC is pretty tasty, right? You know, I think we might be a great team. A single tear begins to pool in the corner of his eye as he gazes out of the window. And with the right business partner, I know I can't fail. Business partner? Could he be talking about you? It's all happening so quick. Overcome with emotion and confused by your feelings, you're on the verge of tears, unable to speak. The only answer you can find is to run out of the door and get home. There's still one more day of school after all. The University of Cooking School, Academy for Learning, waits for no one. You get home to find something very surprising. Your bestie is there waiting for you. Where have you been? I mean, because I had one hell of a night. I've been desperate to talk to you about it, but I couldn't find you. I got so worried that something happened to you. It's okay, I was just... But now it turns out you're fine. I can finally get you up to speed on the saga of Miriam. Sure, but... You'll not believe what happened to me after school yesterday. I went on a date. I think I can believe that. Since I've been partnered up with Clank, he asked me to go out. Of course I told him, you better keep your dulls turned to polite and respectful, and I'm not that kind of girl. But he was just interested in spending some one-on-one time together and getting to know me. So I said, yeah, sure. I can get to know the little metallic guy. Long story short, he took me skydiving with his friends, but things quickly spiraled out of control. Did she just say skydiving? As if that's a typical first date to go on with a talking pressure cooker. And now, I'm really not sure where we stand. You don't give Miriam time to tell her whole story, however. Bottling up the details of your own night is just too much to bear. And I went on a date too, back to Colonel Sanders' house, where I spent the night with him. You what? Nothing happened, but the emotional connection, wowzers. Miriam tells you to move on from this whole Colonel Sanders obsession to focus on school. Okay. If being obsessed with Colonel Sanders is wrong, and you don't want to be right. After a short argument, you both agree to go your separate ways. When you arrive at school, you encounter your rivals in the quad. You can tell from a distance that they're picking on Pop, though he himself might not quite grasp that fact. Because, you know, he's Pop, it's just how he is. What's a swirly? Sounds delicious. Oh, it's great. I'll order you one up right away. I'll have my swirly with sprinkles, please. Sprinkles is the dog and a treat. You can get your swirly dipped too. Why don't you pick on someone your own size, guys? Because I'm literally the biggest person at school. There is that horse that Colonel Sanders rides to school, but who would dare pick on such a gentle and beautiful creature? You got some nerve, suggesting I pick on a defenceless horse. Now you're twisting my words. I'm not going to have that. You clench your fist, but the injury from yesterday's mixer accident makes you wince with pain. It doesn't look like you can go on cooking like that. You might as well just give up. I'll never give up, ever. Colonel Sanders arrives just as it appears things are close to boiling over. A naturally intuitive person, he senses that something has been going on. Is everyone excited for the final day of school? Oh sure, how's the hand? I'm sure you'll be back in fighting form by this afternoon. Are you not concerned by my hands, Colonel? Yesterday, I almost broke a nail winning so hard. Technically, I don't believe a winner was decided, but your presentation was quite impressive. What is he doing complimenting her? But what about the flavour of my delicate warm gooey chocolate sauce? It was clear that you're passionate about how your food is received. That's a lot of words to say that it was bland. Excuse me, I am more than capable to speak for myself. Oh, maybe you could tell me more of your thoughts as we walk to class. I'm always interested in discussing the fine art of fine foods. I'll see you inside, dude. Annoyed by Colonel Sanders' inability to see Ashley for who you know she really is, you walk across the quad to get some distance. In an attempt to distract yourself from how slighted you feel by that interaction with Ashley, you take out the spellbook you recovered yesterday and start flipping through the pages. Wow, what's that book? Looks like bad news. It's just something I found lying around. It would appear to be some sort of grimoire, but I don't really believe in that magic kind of stuff. A grimoire? Like a book of spells? I don't know. Who would spend so much time decorating a magic book if it wasn't really powerful? I can think of a surefire way to find out. You open a page covered with arcane warnings. Cast only in case of extreme emergency, it says around the edge of the page. I could use this spell here, and it says it would erase anyone I choose from all of my memories. If I scrub out Colonel Sanders, it would probably help me focus better on the upcoming final exam. That is drastic, dude. Can you do something else, like anything else not rooted in dark magic? Maybe tie a string around your finger? Okay, fine, it is drastic, but desperate times call for desperate measures. You got a memory erasing spell sitting right in front of you, and a pretty good excuse to try it out. Don't do it, don't do it. You take your friend's advice and put the book away. It's almost time for class. Sprinkles is already in the room, waiting for the students to arrive. He clears his voice to make a quick announcement. I want you all to know, I feel something of a dog moment coming on, but I assure you, it's nothing to be afraid of. His cute nose scrunches up, and he begins to breathe quickly. Must be hungry? Those can be rather unpredictable. Okay. Okay, wait, see what happens. Sprinkles stops in his tracks. He focuses on the window. The room is deadly silent. When you follow his gaze, you see a tiny orange squirrel perching on the cherry tree outside. Sprinkles turns feral and runs to the window of the classroom. He begins barking uncontrollably at the squirrel outside. Terence, I told you never to come back here. Terence, I will destroy you, Terence. Sprinkles is barking ferociously, drool flying off his face. The squirrel looks over, but he doesn't say anything back. You wonder, is that even a talking squirrel? Who named him Terence? You better not show your chubby cheeks around here ever again. After Sprinkles is satisfied that his presence has been felt by not only Terence, but any other squirrel in the hearing distance, he returns to his professional tone. I apologise for the outburst. This actually brings up an important point. Thanks, Oshio, for reminding me to dole out this indispensable bit of wisdom. You see... But before he can go any further, Miriam's love drama spills over into the class. Sprinkles is interrupted by whirs and sparks coming from the back of the room. Okay. I told you to save it for after class. Oh, sad times. You think I wanted to be thrown from a plane strapped to a stranger? Miriam and Clank appear to be arguing, but you still haven't learned to speak Clank's language of mechanical noises. But no, you just had to show off to your cool kid friends Jeff and Joan, J and J forever. Watch us form a triangle in mid-air as we descend. Triangles are the strongest shape, didn't you know? Oh, what? Yeah, that doesn't make it a great date, dude. Oh, what? You're pissing me off. Take Jeff and Joan with you. You can all hold hands as you pedal down a mountain or a cliff for all I care. Sad beep. Clank begins to shudder. Steam pours out of the gaps in his panels, and then the loud ding stops him in his tracks. Oh my god, has he died? No amount of seasoning is going to make me want to eat that, Clank. Clank burps out a completely deep-fried sneaker. Considering that he himself has wheels, not feet, it's not entirely clear where this came from. In terms of deep-fried footwear, I guess it looks okay. Clank slowly rolls out of the room to be alone with the shoe. Everyone tries to pretend that they didn't see that entire thing go down. Nothing like a loud public breakup to cast a pall over the final day of school. Well, that was, unfortunate. But we mustn't be distracted from what lies ahead. The final competition showdown challenge exam, trademark. I'm still working on the title, but I think you get it. Test time approaches. I'll see you all in the arena. But before you can think about your upcoming competition, there's a very beautiful soul nearby in need of a pep talk. Hey, Miriam, you okay? I'm okay. I'm so mad I could smash a tiny mug, spilling several droplets of hot cocoa all over the floor. How could he embarrass me in class like that in front of everybody? Her tiny cocoa is a delicious treasure, so you know that this breakup's no joke, even if the source of her frustration is such a silly boy. I know that you know this, but I'm going to say it out loud. You don't need anyone. Me and you, we're going to cruise through the final test and hit the carpool lane to Success City. Miriam brightens up, imagining the wind rushing through her short bangs, but she hesitates to embrace the feeling all the way. You're not going to saddle up with Colonel Sanders' stallion and ride off into the sunset without me? Course not. Well, maybe sorta, but I'm sure there's a pony out there with your name on it, and a ranch big enough for both of us, or whoever else we want to bring along. If it's not Pop or Clank, or anybody else you meet today, tomorrow, or this whole year, so what? You're a special person who shouldn't settle for the first someone to show a little bit of interest anyhow. Miriam gives you a big hug and wipes away the tears from her cheeks. I should really review my menu for today. I'm going to make a very special soup. And I bet the Professor Dog is going to love it up. While you were pep talking Miriam, you completely missed lunch, but that's okay, because you had a better idea on how to spend the time before your exam. You've decided to head to the arena early to practice your dish. This is it, the location of your final challenge. A test of will, a test of courage, a test of talent, and the chance to beat the pants off Van Van, the supposed man-man, and his eviler counterpart Ashley. As planned, you begin to run through a quick test of a recipe you've been working on, Ushio's famous chicken pot pie. After practicing for months, making this dish comes second nature to you, and you're able to quickly get a fresh pot pie in the oven, but as soon as you do, your cram session is interrupted by Colonel Sanders. Oh, what are you doing here? There's still time before the final exam. Oh, I'm just taking it all in. I'm big into visualizing success. I'm looking at my station and picturing victory. The pot pies begin to bake, and the smell is slowly filling the space around you. Visualizing? That's too bad. I was hoping you were here cooking something delicious. You'd usually happily share your food with anyone who's hungry, but the last time you let Colonel Sanders get into your head, it cost you a cook-off. You decide that it's time to put your cooking above your romantic desires, but that decision gets hard to stick to when the oven timer goes off. Fess up. Okay, you got me. I'm doing a little bit more than visualizing. I know, my nose can smell a pot pie from 400 yards. That's an oddly specific distance, but you'd expect nothing less from such an oddly specific man. You knew it was a pot pie just from the smell? Not just any pot pie, but a chicken pot pie with an all-butter crust. My nose is telling me something else. Oh, is it burning? Oh no, I can smell that it was made with a heaping helping of tender loving care. But this will probably start burning any second if you don't put it out now. The moment of truth. Wow. It's the best pot pie I've ever tasted. I've always loved country cooking, and I could eat this all day. There's no time left. The final showdown is about to begin. Sprinkles lays down the ground rules. No rules. That is, except to cook with everything you've got. You step up for the cook-off of a lifetime. You decide that mac and cheese plus the pot pie you've been practicing are just the dishes that you'll need to push you over the edge to victory. Meanwhile, both Van Van and Ashley are prepping wildly elaborate dishes, per their usual over-the-top selves. Miriam has her giant magnifying glass and several sets of tweezers. She's definitely prepared to go big, going small. Colonel Sanders seems to be harnessing his 11 herbs and spices, but he's trying to find a way to improve on something perfect, his original recipe, fried chicken. The intensity in the room starts at a full 10 out of 10 with a frenzy of action. Everyone is calling out really cool special cooking moves as they prepare their food. Wow, it's getting serious. Colonel Sanders batters his chicken as it levitates through the air. Egg wash. Okay, Miriam furiously injects ingredients into an itty-bitty pot of broth. Best friend Baster Blaster. Van Van flexes his pectorals as he chops open a sea urchin. Let's rock and roll it. Ashley scoops her pastries off the tray with lightning speed. Shadow personality spatula. Oh no, even Clank gets in on it. 5-dial pressure point chicken cooking technique. Wait, when did Clank learn to speak English? It's a singularity, as was foretold. We mustn't let it happen, or the appliance uprising is going to take us all. Self-destruction. Van Van quickly unplugs Clank and rolls him out of the back door of the arena. As you frantically prepare your dish, you notice Ashley has her spellbook out. Is she going to use some dark magic to turn the tide? You've got a book of your own, and you're desperate not to see her win another battle. Should you take this opportunity to fight magic with magic, even if it's almost certainly evil magic? I mean, do it the hard way. Who needs a magic spell when you've got passion? I'm going to do it the hard way. Colonel Sanders sees that you've chosen to win on your own terms, and he gives you a subtle wink from across the room. I believe in you, dude. Miriam notices too. And I've always believed in you since we were little kids, because I'm your bestie forever. You tend to notice that Miriam is at your station cheering for you. Miriam, what about your dish? If you're here cheering, who's cooking? Tiny food, short cook time. I'm actually done, so I thought I'd come help. Oh, that's sweet, but Miriam tosses a handful of spices directly into your boiling noodles. It's the secret ingredient. However, she doesn't know that you lied and the ingredient was made up. And where in the world did she even get the eye of newt from? The boiling pot explodes, sending Miriam flying backwards. The watery noodles begin to swell in the air, bubbling into a dark cloud that thickens and congeals before your very eyes. It is I, Steve, the Spork Monster. Steve? What happened to Borko? You're not here to battle, are you? We Spork Monsters are many. I think Borko has the day off. But you have conjured Steve, and I hate to battle, so I'd say that you're doing pretty alright. Oh hey, you're in the middle of a cooking competition. I love this stuff. It's better than TV. You crazy kids and your culinary skills really impress me. Can I hang out? I'm sorry, Steve, but I'm kind of in the middle of something. Do you mind? Steve the Spork Monster notices that you've got the grimoire stashed beneath your cooking station. I see what you're up to. Crisscrossed some magical items and accidentally summoned me, did ya? Yeah, you guessed it, sort of. If you're here, can you toss me some fresh noodles into the pot of salted water? I'd love to. I've always wanted to be a top chef. Actually, you know, when I was a little Spork pup back in the old country, you can feel Spork Monster winding up to tell a really long and involved story. You don't know exactly where they came from, but it seems like it was probably lonely there. Actually, you know what? Maybe you should just watch from the stands. I really need to focus on the competition. Oh, I understand. It's kind of like that time in Monster School that I had fallen asleep during Scare Tactics class, and when I woke up, you toss a serious stare at Steve, and he takes the hint. Never mind, I'll tell you later. Good luck. Having suffered this huge setback, you don't know how you could ever win. Drop out? Summon extra power from deep within yourself. I can do it. I've got what it takes. I came here to win. Your hair turns mac and cheese orange as culinary energy flows through your body. My heart is pure, my hands are steady. My taste buds have been preparing for their entire lives for this. Yeah, you're the chosen one. You will avenge me. Dude, what is your name? The power you've been summoning immediately fades back out. You interrupted my inspiring monologue, dude. Oh, sorry. My heart is pure, my hands are steady, my taste buds have been preparing their entire lives for this moment. I will show the world my cookery. You begin to levitate off the ground. Energy courses through your entire body. You know that with this power, you can do anything. Except turn back time, which would be super useful, because while you're powering up, your chicken pot pie overcooked in the oven can't be served. But don't worry, dear Ushio, you may have suffered some setbacks, but all is not lost. Impressed with your fortitude, Colonel Sanders decides that you have earned his support. I've been watching you today, and I must say, I'm truly impressed. You've been thinking on your feet and rolling with the punches. He steps up to your station and stands right beside you. I'm here to help. All you've managed to make is mac and cheese, and time's almost up, so you're gonna need it. But Colonel Sanders, what about the test? What's gonna happen to you? What about the rules? Following the rules has never really been my thing. I follow my heart. What a guy. Colonel Sanders unfolds a delicate white towel to reveal the most delicate fried chicken tenders you've ever laid your eyes on. And besides, sometimes unexpected combinations can have surprising effects that surpass their individual efforts. Are you suggesting? If we combine forces, we can form the perfect food union. Time's up, students. With time expired, it's the moment everyone's been waiting for. You must now prepare to present your dishes. A handful of students stand tall, but the class seems incomplete. It seems we're missing some students like Pop and Clank. From off-screen, you hear a pure and innocent giggle that can only come from one student. Yeah, I'm flying. Okay, it sounds like it's coming from the broom closet over there. Miriam, would you mind? Inside the closet, you see Pop banging on a broom hook by the elastic of his underpants. Pop, get down there right now. Let me guess, did Van Van have something to do with this? When someone asks for a wedgie, who am I to refuse? I thought a wedgie was a salad. It looks like Pop is eliminated from the challenge, seeing as how he didn't cook a thing. I can't feel my legs. Can I be excused? Sure. You kids and your pranks. I must say, it's not the worst prank in history, but it's not exactly yearbook material. Wait a sec. Pranks. Clank. Where did the pressure cooker go? You wait to hear a signature word beep or some other onomatopoeia, but there isn't anything. Somehow he must have gotten unplugged, I guess. We'll have to figure it out later. Which only leaves 4 remaining students. Please collect your final projects. Yes, it's been a long semester. Wow, 3 whole days long. But after days of hard work, the time has come for me to eat. Miriam, please step forward. Now, describe your dish. I've made tender udon noodles in savoury soup. It is so small. My word, it's so delicate. Is that a teeny tiny Naruto maki I spy afloat in this itsy bitsy bowl? Yes, chef. Please call me Sprinkles. Chef is my father's name. Yes, Sprinkles, and some green tea made from baby tea leaves that I picked myself. Sprinkles carefully sniffs around the dish before opening his mouth and letting just the tip of his pink dog tongue dip into the bowl. Sublime. Would anyone else like to taste? Oh, come on. I'm not one of those dogs who doesn't floss. I even have a really cute electric toothbrush for dogs. Fine. I'll enjoy it all by myself. And in a flash, the entire meal has been devoured. Not that it took much. It was less than a thimble's worth of soup. A+. Rarely do I taste a dish with as much love poured into it as yours. Miriam is overjoyed. She gives you a huge hug. Thanks for helping me believe in myself. Van, you're next. Describe your dish. I made uni over smooth egg custard in an axe-hewn urchin shell topped with caviar. What? Did you skewer one type of urchin with spines from a second different coloured type of urchin? Yes, Sprinkles. It's a bit much, don't you think? That's exactly why I did it. A bit much is my kind of brand. Doesn't it look cool? Sprinkles leans in to sniff the uni, but he can't get his nose closed on account of all the spikes. He begins to pour at it erratically, causing the custard to slosh around. Ouch. Please be gentle with my cuisine. What? Finally, Sprinkles goes all in, tongue first, but he can't get past all the needles. He reels back as his tongue is poked and prodded. Wow, my tongue hurts. The professor appears to be having an allergic reaction from the sting. I can't eat this. I keep poking my tongue. Disqualified. Okay, a stunning turn of events. Who would have thought that serving food in a bowl made of needles would make it difficult to eat? Dejected, Van does not go gentle into the night. Disqualified for glamour? Don't discount simplicity. I can't talk with a lisp, but I'm going to give up on that. This isn't the last you've heard from me. Alright, bye. Before forcing us to endure his swollen tongue for another moment, Sprinkles graciously laps up a bowl of milk. I know. Yeah, I'm a dog and I drink milk. Get over it. Sometimes it helps calm my agitated tongue. Next, Ashley. Describe your dish. We've got orange blossom Turkish delight in a light rosewater syrup topped with French meringue and connected by sugar grass. Okay, doesn't sound bad. Indeed, it's quite delightful. However, I'd ask that you please refrain from eating it or attempting to taste it in any way. It's very fragile and meant to be a display piece. Don't eat the food at a cooking school? Got toast in your ears or something? I told you, it's a display piece. Ashley, I must say it is beautiful. However, this is a cooking competition at a cooking school. Yeah, which is why I cooked it, and I did an extremely good job. I didn't realise that we were having an eating exam. If I wanted to be judged on eating, I'd have gone to the College of Eating, School for the Hungry. I suppose you could smell it if you absolutely insisted, but don't breathe too hard, you might disrupt the sugar spiral. If the food cannot be eaten, it cannot be judged. You're disqualified. Rage overtakes Ashley, and she finally cannot keep her two-faced routine up. You wouldn't know high-end cuisine if it cooked you. And with that, Ashley storms off to rededicate herself to being the best, but this time without being shackled by trying to be fake nice and liked by everyone. This isn't the last you heard from me either. Wow, if this class gets any smaller, I'm going to be teaching myself. You and Colonel Sanders, the final cooks, step up together. 2 chefs. What began as a bowl of delicious mac and cheese has become something else. He examines it closely, sniffing and eyeing the bowl. Oh, I don't have a good feeling about this. From somewhere in the room, a literal drum roll plays. Just when I thought I've seen everything in the kitchen, you give me this thing. And completely blow me away. In my 49 dog years of life, I've never tasted anything so delicious and perfectly balanced. It's so delicious, in fact, everyone passes class. You pass. You pass. You pass. You get a pass. Everybody passes. Everyone gathers round and partakes of the mac and cheese bowl. They all seem to transcend this reality into another dimension. You win. Together, you and Colonel Sanders have made a new menu item. The new menu item is so impressive that even Van Van and Ashley are drawn back by its magnetic fragrance. When they gaze upon your mac and cheese bowl, they admit that you indeed are an excellent chef. Sprinkles declares that you have passed. Everyone has passed. There were supposed to be more battles, but come on, how could they be better than this one? Now that the school year is complete and everyone's graduated, the students return for one last assignment, get their groove on. The cafeteria has been completely redecorated in order to serve as the site of the school's graduation dance. Compared to the massive high-tech cooking arena, the humble decor seems downright cute and cozy. DJ Dog is in the house! Okay, you knew that Sprinkles was a master chef, but also a world-renowned turntablist? Who says that you can't teach an old dog new tricks? Van Van and Ashley tell everyone that they've committed themselves to righting the wrongs they did while they were villains. For a moment, you actually believe them. Not another haunting, there's the ghost. No ghosts allowed at graduation. It's clearly written in the school's bylaws. I was never actually a ghost. It was a wood trick to get you to finally notice me. Oh, that's kind of funny. And now that everyone's together, it's the Spork Monster. He's totally mellowed out. Everyone, Spork Monster is no more. From here on out, I prefer that everyone refer to me by my new name. It's Party Monster. Student tries to finish what he has to say, but everyone is too wrapped up by talking to the Party Monster. Dejected, student walks off. Maybe things didn't work out for Miriam romantically, but she found the love in her cooking, and you know she's just gonna do great. A red carpet rolls out across the floor of the ballroom. It's like a Hollywood movie premiere. Who could command such an entrance? It's Pop. He has arrived late to the dance, but apparently for a good reason. Walking the carpet, you see perched atop his dirty chef's hat a crown. Welcome back, Pop. I know you weren't able to complete the final exam and accept your diploma, so we had it mailed directly to your father. We figured it was the least we could do for the school's dean. Oh, now I get it. And we get a new wing in the school now, not to mention the honour of educating the son of the Chancellor of the Dutch. Okay. The music at the dance is interrupted by the sound of sparking and electrical hissing. It's Clank who's arrived at the dance. Now that I've graduated, I can reveal my truth. Well, he's still doing the talking thing. I am Clank. I'm not of this earth. I'm actually from a faraway planet in another dimension. What? What? I actually feel like I knew this for a while. Now that I've learned the ways of your kind, I must return. Miriam, will you come with me? I don't know what to say. Besides, no, obviously. I've just begun to learn who I really am. This isn't the time for me to devote my life to figure out who you are, Clank. You're blown away by Miriam's maturity. It's pretty clear she's managed to surpass you in that regard. I understand. Kind of. Humans are weird. A portal opens up and Clank disappears through it. Okay, bye Clank. Finally, Colonel Sanders arrives. Howdy, classmates. Just like the first day you met him, he's come prepared to feed the entire class. However, it's not enough to just give them a bucket of chicken. This time it's a full meal. I didn't get to be the most famous chicken man in history of Chicken and Man by not reminding people to go out and buy my chicken. Okay, so this was a really weird game. No, it's not the end. As everyone feasts on their delicious chicken dinner, Colonel Sanders finds you sitting at the edge of the dance floor. Yo, what are you doing here sitting all alone? Oh, you know, I'm just waiting for the right person to ask me to dance. I wonder, might you tell me, what are the qualities that you would expect to find in such a lucky person? Off the top of my head, I don't know, a spicy mask, a tidy goatee, and a degree from the University of Cooking School Academy of Learning, just to name a few. It truly is my lucky day then. Would you dance with me? Yes, I'd love to. As you glide across the dance floor hand in hand with Colonel Sanders, the future stretches out in front of you. And once my 100th franchise is up and running, I'll be ready to take a day off, and I'll be so glad to spend it together with you. How sweet, we'll work together and play together. Colonel Sanders stops dead in his tracks. Work together? This is something I'll just need to do by myself, I'm afraid. But who's going to help run your restaurants? I don't believe I need the help. Besides, based on your time at school here, do you really think running restaurants is the best path forward? Could it be you found a love connection, but failed to earn Colonel Sanders' respect as a chef? Can you live with only half of him? Will you be able to endure sharing him with his other love, the life of an entrepreneur? I suppose I could enroll at pastry school. Oh my dear, I'm sure that you'll find your place eventually. And along the way, you'll have me by your side. Okay, So I think that is her ending. So this isn't acceptable to me. I need to get the ultimate ending for this game. Let's try this again, and I'm gonna try and get all the best answers. And let's get this good, best ending. Colonel, I need you. Okay, so I've gone through the game again, and I'm trying to get this best ending. We got the romantic side, but we wanted the professional side as well. So fingers crossed this has gone a little bit better this time. Okay. Not the end. As everyone feasts on their delicious chicken dinner, Colonel Sanders finds you sitting at the edge of the dance floor. Yo, what's up? I couldn't help but wonder, was our final exam team up purely an act of strategy, carried out by two cunning chefs, or was it something more? I'm afraid I can't answer that question directly. Instead, I'd like to ask you a question of my own. May I have this do-si-do? Colonel Sanders extends his hand to you, and you feel a surge of energy jump off the tips of his fingers. His hand, the hand of a master chef, so dedicated to the craft of fine cookery, so tender yet refined, so silky smooth fingers like finely battered drumsticks, turned in flour, soaked in buttermilk, and dusted with exotic spices. But they do not reach for tongs, a knife, or even a spork. Tonight, they reach for you. And though our feet may tire of dancing, I believe that this is just the beginning of our steps together. Colonel Sanders, will you not only join me on the dance floor, but in the kitchen, as my co-chef and partner in both business and in life? You gasped. Could it be? Is he really saying, me and you, together? Ever since I met you, my dream has changed. It's not enough to simply open the world's greatest chain of fried chicken restaurants. No, even then, my life would be incomplete without you by my side. So what do you say, partner? I say, I love you, Colonel Sanders. That is the best ending. That is the ending we needed. Because how could you aim for anything less than that? Excellent. Perfection. Okay, but I think that is finally the end of the KFC visual novel. It's such a weird concept from start to finish that the fact it even happened it's a bit of a minor miracle, to be honest. It's amazing, and I'm glad it exists. It's obviously a big advert, but I've got no problem with it. It's a bit of fun. I had a lot of fun with it, and I hope you enjoyed it as well. And this is Usho signing off, and hopefully I'll see you next time.